So I'm here with Gracia Violeta Ross. You're from Bolivia,
Yes.
and you've just been appointed
Yeah.
as the new Executive Director of HIV.
Yes, it's the program executive for the Ecumenical HIV and AIDS Initiatives and Advocacy in WCC.
Gracia, we've known each other many years.
Yes.
And one of the things that drew us together is that we are both people living with HIV. This is the first time in the more than 20 years of this program that WCC has appointed a person who is openly living with HIV to work on HIV. What does that mean for this project?
It means a lot, because I think finally they are listening to what Lucille said. And you were the one who reminded us of her calling, and also Manoj spoke about that. Why can't you have people living with HIV? You want to do everything with us, but you don't. Now that it is, and it moves, it shows the commitment of WCC to work in a significant way with people living with HIV. I think we have to take that opportunity because that should not be only one person, right? We should have more people living with HIV in WCC and be able to show that we are not just living with HIV, but we also have skills. And we can be very good experts delivering program outcomes. Yeah.
You come to this post with an anthropological background.
Mm-hmm.
So your work with the networks of people living with HIV in Latin America, and particularly in Bolivia, has given you quite a different insight from the challenges of working with that community. How do you use that knowledge inside the World Council of Churches?
Yeah, it's very interesting, how that works, because the epidemic in Latin America is so much concentrated in the key populations, and so you don't see a lot of the faith sector working on HIV. There are some tensions, but the experience of working together is there, and I think that is very important to implement in the work of WCC now. But not so much bringing the positive experiences of my work, my life in Latin America, but actually what the Haya did, and the good experiences of work with HIV, with communities living with HIV in 5 regional offices now. It is a very important work. I have never seen something like this. I've been involved with UNAIDS, with WHO working groups, and many other global bodies. I've never seen something like this, in which you bring young people, adolescents with faith leaders, and you discuss difficult issues such as sexuality, relationships. It is very important, and actually, one of the things I would like to do in my roles in WCC is to expand the experience from Africa to other regions. Actually, I would like to bring the experiences of Africa to Latin America and to Asia and to other regions as much as possible. So it is a very important collection of experiences. But what I can see I can bring to WCC is this advocacy knowledge, because advocacy has been a little bit weak, probably, not international advocacy, but advocacy at country level for the sustainability of the AIDS response. And that's what I was doing for the last 12 years or more. So that is also important. As we walk in a transition phase from all donors in HIV funding is not going to be so much there as in the past. So we need to secure sustainable responses. And that experience in Latin America will be very positive for WCC and the faith communities.
We are just heading into the General Assembly.
Yeah.
And at the General Assembly, these major decisions will be taken in terms of the future of our world. We know that EHIA, as it is now, will not continue, and EAA, as it is now, will not continue, and the Health and Healing Desk, as it is, will not continue. And that there's a proposal on the table that we establish a commission on health that will have as one of its focuses HIV. Is HIV going to survive in WCC?
I think so, because the recommendation of the governing bodies of WCC was oriented to the integration of HIV work in WCC, which now is in 2 units or desks. and now to have a more integrated response, and also to upgrade HIV in the context of a commission which is not going to end in the next assembly. So the Commission on Health will remain there, and that's very important. I think it also gives us these three areas of work in which we have to find the place for people living with HIV and key affected populations, which is advocacy, church engagement, and service delivery. I think in all of them, the faith community, in alliance with the networks of people with HIV and key populations, we can bring a lot to the work of WCC on HIV and actually strengthen it. The leadership is very open to put HIV in this secure structure, and they didn't show signs of eliminating HIV. That is very good, and actually being in the Commission is going to make us more sustainable in the WCC mandate. So I think we have to use that opportunity and bring programmatic content to kind of these groups, that will continue at least for probably until next year as we transition in the structures that the Health Commission will have. The Health Commission also has an HIV working group, which is going to be composed by members of this commission, and the inclusion of people living with HIV is there, so we also have to make sure to work with this governing body, with this advisory body, and provide the best strategies, and based on our learnings of all these years. HIA has been there and EAA has been there, we have learnings. So how to use those for the next phase of the AIDS response by the faith sector.
I have one last question for you. There is this small group of experts that are only invited to join the UNAIDS HIV and Human Rights Reference Group. And you served on that board of experts for quite some time. We know that today UNAIDS sees WCC as one of the only big global actors who are still involved in HIV work. How can you bring these two experiences together to enrich the collaboration between WCC and UNAIDS?
UNAIDS is also experimenting a lot of changes, but I think in terms of what a UN agency, because I was an NGO representative until I joined WCC, the relevance of UNAIDS will be justified as long as we put the numbers and the strategies that are effective for the current challenges of the HIV response. I think we have not been good enough probably in documenting what the faith community is already doing in responding to the epidemic, and what we are already doing in responding to the inequalities that drive the HIV epidemic. Now we have the Global AIDS Strategy, which is not a UNAIDS document. They facilitated the process, but it's a document of everyone who is interested on HIV. And I think we have to use it. We have to make it our own, and we have to demonstrate that the faith communities have very unique and comparative advantages in comparison with other actors to be able to respond to the inequalities. Why? Because we are with the poor, we are with the vulnerable, with the marginalized, and we are working in very difficult to reach contexts that some of the governments can't reach because of limitations or whatever reasons. So I am very privileged, and I feel an honor to be able to unite these two worlds, the WCC world, the faith community, and the UNAIDS UN world, their wisdom. Each one of them brings that wisdom, and to be able to unite that through my experience as a person living with HIV and a person of faith. I know I might not have all the answers, but for sure God will give me all the strategies.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you too.